Greetings, Evil Wolf Genius here with my mate Connor. Hello. Now, uh, I saw a thread the other day on LinkedIn about fitness and stuff. It's a kind of contact guy I know, not well, but I know him. And he was basically saying how important fitness and stuff was. And you'd be forgiven for thinking, oh, he's bound to say that because he's a PT. Well, he is a PT, but he also happens to be right. I mentioned my Fat John moment a couple of days ago, and you can stop smirking, young man. And it, I can't emphasize this enough. When I took control of my weight and my drinking and my fitness, I mean, it's not like I was an alcoholic, but when I took control of all that, probably, 10 years ago, everything else changed too. Now, there's a really cool book I read after the fact, and it kind of confirmed what I already knew, which is, we're in danger of confirmation bias there, but it confirmed what research confirms what I already kind of had guessed, gathered, and that is fitness and stuff like that is what's called a gateway habit. So if you get your fitness and your diet nailed and get into habits of good habits like that, good exercise habits, they're actually they bleed over into every other aspect of your life. And for me, once I took control of my weight and my eating and my drinking and my fitness, my entire business changed. My life and business changed without. It sounds very woo, but it's almost without conscious effort. Those disciplines bled over into everything else, and I started I started a fetish blog, which was extremely successful. No good asking me what it is because I'm not going to tell you. My business my whole business, my whole life changed, and there's one important trick, if you like, I've learned over the years, and I don't think everyone can do it. If you're an employee, you'd find it very hard to do, but as a business owner, since you're the boss, you can do this, and I suggest you do. And that is, I fit my entire working day, with rare exception. If I'm travelling, I don't use hotel gyms, by the way, because I've learned in 80-20 terms it's not worth the hassle. I always tell myself I'm going to do it and never do. But if you're working for yourself and you are the boss, you can do this. There's no question about it. You can do it. And that is, I fit my working day, all my client work, my calls, my own work, all that kind of stuff. I fit that around my workouts, not the other way around. Reason being, I think the workouts are probably the most important things of all because they drive everything else. They are the gateway habit. And if you do what most people do and relegate them to, oh, I'll do a workout when I get time, I'll go to the gym if I get time, you won't do it because human beings, we regress to the mean, meaning we kind of tend to drift back into the default state. And if the default state is not to work out unless I have time, believe me, everything else will expand to fill the time available and you'll end up not working out. I do it the other way around. Now, like I say, an employee would find that hard to do, but certainly a business owner can do that without question. And if you don't do it, it's because you choose not to. Now, the book I mentioned, I think I mentioned it anyway, is a book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And it's, people say things are life-changing, and they're not. They just make things a little bit different. Some things really are life-changing. My fitness habits was one of them. Having my eyes done, the lenses replaced, was another. I would probably venture to say the book by Charles Duhigg, The Power of Habit, is potentially life-changing for most people. Because we don't realise how much we rely on habit and pretty much autopilot. Now, me as an Asperger's fellow, autistic little shit that I am, habit and routine and structure are absolutely vital to me. Just if little things are not as they should be, it's not OCD before someone chimes in. If little things don't go the way they should do, it's not that I could get hysterical, but it's really uncomfortable and it throws me out. I was in a bar some time ago, and I was with three people I like and trust, love very much, and so I can relax in their presence because I know they'll take care of any shit that goes on around me, if I get any anxiety or anything. And for a joke, when I went to the gents, they moved seats, which is just an innocuous little joke, isn't it? Yeah. But that little thing itself was enough to completely throw me out. I just stood there in a fucking daze. I didn't know what would happen because I'd relaxed into this state of not paying attention anymore. Hard to explain. If you're an Asper yourself, you know exactly what I mean. But anyway, habit and routine and structure are really important for me. That's what actually makes it easier for me to diet and do weight training, because I eat the same thing every day, probably 3-4 times a day, and I have done for nearly 3 years now, 2.5 years, and I still enjoy it and look forward to it. Okay, God has blessed me in that way. Ha 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 ha. You're gonna have to work at it, but it's worth working at for sure. All right, think I've got that? Yeah. All right. Anyway, if you want to help your business so you can develop these habits, business habits, fitness habits, whatever, hit me up. Let me know. We'll talk. See you later. We're out of here.